All right, so I don't know if you guys have had these thoughts before where you're hanging out with somebody that's so anti-vax and they're almost so aggressive in their stance about coronavirus that you have a fleeting thought, maybe just for 1 second. And it's not a good one. It's an evil one like, man, they'll understand coronavirus once they get it, right? That's what our email's about this morning. If you have something going on in your life that you'd love for us to throw out to Bert Show fam, hit us up at thebertshow.com. She's feeling like she's an awful person for hoping that her sister gets coronavirus.
My question isn't really, am I an a-hole? It's more like, am I an awful person for hoping my sister gets coronavirus? She's a total anti-vaxxer, which I honestly don't care. She also thinks wearing a mask is useless, and she won't allow her kids to wear a mask at school. At our school, this is a huge issue. It even made the news. Anyway, she's so arrogant and sure that her ideas on COVID are smarter than everybody else's. She's so preachy and judgy to anyone that is vaxxed or wearing a mask and social distancing. She won't wear a mask around other parents. She's downright rude in public, almost daring people to confront her. She thinks COVID is nothing more than the flu. She has a few friends that got COVID, and they said it wasn't a big deal. She's in great health, other than smoking. Anyway, I secretly hope she gets the virus. I want her to take it seriously, and I really want her to feel foolish. No, I don't want her to die.
Oh, that's sweet.
But I do want her to be in bed enough till she realizes the reality of COVID. Does this make me an awful person?
Is there anybody listening that would admit to that? Like where you're around people and you're like, there's part of me that really hopes they have to deal with this whole thing. 1-855-PERT-SHOW. Anybody in here want to agree to that?
I am very fortunate, very, very fortunate. And I feel like I'm one of the few where my family, both sides, my in-laws and my immediate family, everybody is on board. Everybody gets it. Everybody believes in the science of it. Everybody got vaccinated. There was no hesitation whatsoever. We have family members that are compromised, immunocompromised. We have a new baby. If you want to see the new baby, you have to be vaccinated. Like, everybody got it.
Mm-hmm.
I have, a paramedic in the family. So, yeah, I fortunately have not been in this position. And we have seen what COVID has done. We've seen the people on ventilators. We've seen the tragedy that is COVID and how many people have died. So to wish your family member would get it, yeah, that's bad.
So I think I have a pretty good mix of people around me that are handling the pandemic and the vaccine very, very differently. I will tell you this, that my fiance got her second vax yesterday, and that's been a source of tension between the two of us for the last couple of months. She knew how important it really was to me, and she pointed to some science, I pointed to some science, and I think more for me than anything else, she actually got it done, but she got the second one yesterday. I also have people in my life that are fully on board, and I also have the same type of people that this Bert Show listener is talking about also, and these are the ones that bother me. The ones that are so in your face, that are so judgy about the way that you're handling the pandemic, and they're so aggressive about it and so condescending about it, that I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I have had the thought like, get it and deal with it. Or have you had somebody around you that has actually had to deal with it? You might not feel the exact same way, but I have certainly had those thoughts. Not my brother. Not a sister, but somebody so aggressive that it's their way, no way, and this is just the flu. What's everybody making a big deal about? And I've had those thoughts, yeah. You guys?
I think I've seen too many people like deal with it and suffer from it firsthand for me to like wish it upon somebody. So I wouldn't go that far. But for people like this who behave this way, not only not want to protect themselves, but want to make other people feel bad for it, I don't wish it upon them. Mm-hmm. But if they got it, I ain't gonna cry over it either.
I think that's the kind of thing now. Like, you can't change somebody's opinion on the vaccination unless somebody really close to them gets coronavirus and has a real health scare. I think at this point, that's the only way anybody will change their mind on it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like a lot of people aren't as fortunate as Kristen's family. Like, it is tearing families apart. Mm-hmm. And, personally, every single person I know that has either, been confrontational or not about being anti-vax, but everyone I know that has been anti-vax, like in our personal, family, has got it. Like, officially,
right? Really?
As of last week, the last person. So I don't have to wish this on anyone. It's happening, and you can't stop it.
Hey, Sean, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show. You've had these thoughts.
Good morning. Yes, I absolutely have. And I actually work for the CDC, and I still run into these people daily. People that work for the CDC, and, they still have their opinions about it, which is fine, but they, like I said, they're very bullying as if they know more than other people. And I find myself wishing, I wish you would just end up in the ER one time just to scare you enough.
Yeah, don't you wish there was some kind of almost like a some kind of program where you could sit in and see what's going on in an emergency room right now, or see what's going on in a hospital without having to be there, put yourself at risk.
Was it Maury or Sally Jesse Raphael would bring out D West and they would scare the teenagers, the delinquents.
Yes.
They'd scare them straight and make them start acting right. So we need one of those for COVID-19.
Here is Taylor. Taylor, is this person an a-hole for wishing the coronavirus on her sister?
No, I definitely agree that she's not an a-hole for this. I can admit I had very similar thoughts. One of my uncles, he lives in a different state. He was very outspoken about being anti-vax. He ended up blocking me on Facebook. It was just so extreme of, the differences. And I talked to my mom the other day, and she said that he was in the hospital. And I was like, oh, why is he in the hospital? And she was like, oh, he came down with COVID. And I have to say, I had a little bit of a smile on my face. I was like, that might make me an a-hole, but he's doing fine, so I don't feel so bad about it, but hopefully it will open some eyes.
I think you're not alone in feeling this, Bianca, that secret smile you got when somebody told you maybe that they had coronavirus.
Yes, one of my best friends, she's very anti-vax, anti-mask person. She's very, big into conspiracy theories. But when she ended up getting COVID, I was actually I was kind of a little bit excited. She didn't really get it bad. She actually didn't have any symptoms, so that kind of, made me upset because she's still very, it's not that bad. It's, not that big of a deal. But, people are literally dying from it. But, it is what it is.
But you did secretly, you're kind of smiling inside, weren't you?
I was.
And when she didn't have worse symptoms, she was upset. That's my
Dang
favorite.
it. Dang it. Looks like you're going to get over this in a couple of days.
The Bert Show.